I mean, you're basically saying that women do not have the right to, I don't know, because you won't define what rights are.
I'll tell you again, what did I say a right is? Privilege absent a duty, and you agreed to it 4 times.
So women have no privilege
Hang on,
absent of a duty.
Stop. I just want to point out your lie.
So frustrated.
You said, or you keep lying. You just said I never defined privilege.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you literally just said that, and I defined it 4 times.
You didn't. So what are you trying to say? That because women cannot defend physically their right to do things, that they do not deserve rights? Is that the point?
They can't enforce their own rights.
Okay, so because someone cannot enforce their own rights, they don't deserve rights.
Well, they don't have them.
But do they deserve them?
Again, if you want to get into like what people deserve or don't deserve, we can get into that. But can we at least agree on the descriptor of how it works first?
I'm trying to understand why women don't deserve rights because they cannot physically.
That's a different claim. I just asked you if we could agree to the descriptor before we moved to that claim, and you said no, and then brought that claim up again. It's like talking to a child. Okay. Do you agree with me?
No.
Okay.
Dude, like the right to go to the grocery store. Who has that right? Who are you saying, under your standpoint of government, what is it based on your equal force objection can women do that they should not be allowed to do?
So let's untangle some ideas. When you say who has a right to go to a grocery store, who has an inherent right to go to a grocery store, or who has a physical right enforced by men to go to a grocery store? Which thing are you asking?
I'm saying who has an inherent right to move their body in the way that they
Nobody has an inherent right to do anything.
So then how do we gain the physical right to go to the grocery store?
Through force. Like, let's say the Taliban took over the grocery store area. Do you have the right to go to the grocery store now?
No, but that's an anarchic society.
Then you're agreeing with me. So then you're saying there's no inherent right.
It sounds like you're advocating for anarchy, and the only way that people
I'm not advocating for anarchy.
The only way that people gain a right is through force, then we'd all be fighting each other all the time to just
No, we
use our
don't.
bodies
You can
in a basic
cooperate
way.
for the purpose of force doctrine. We do it constantly.
No, we don't. Because we don't live under a force doctrine principle.
Yes, we do.
Well, how would old people have the power to do anything?
Because they have people who have force, which enable them to do those things. That's how. So you agreed with me that when it comes to force doctrine, you agree to the descriptor being true.
Sure.
Okay, now we can get somewhere, maybe.
That's what I said.
Now that you've agreed to force doctrine, can you tell me why men should enforce women's rights?
I just want to understand your moral justification for controlling someone else's body.
But I asked you a question, and he didn't answer it. Why should men enforce women's rights?
Because it is morally unacceptable to control others.
That's the opposite.
But right is simply, as we've defined it, a privilege without a duty.
So why should men enforce women's privileges?
So what are you defining as
Answer my question. Why should men enforce women's privileges?
They don't have to enforce women's privileges.
Great. I believe the exact same thing. Perfect. I'm going to go off a smoke.
But you don't have to enforce... Oh my goodness, he's upset.
He's coming back. He's just going to do a little
rage
smoke.
Quit.
Are you kidding? You just agreed with my entire position.
Oh, shit. The misogynist rage quit.
I agree with you that men should not enforce women's rights.
Well, you didn't let me finish the sentence.
Well, I don't really need to. You conceded the debate.
No, I did not concede the debate, Andrew. You're just walking away because you're mad.